Hey there. I got a little job I'm going to do in the more jig bore using the Brown and Sharpe dividing head. There's two little jobs I got to do. One is just putting a hex like this on this part, and then I got to make a part like this and then mount it in the chuck and do this radius. That's how that Pratt & Whitney steady rest locks those round fingers. But one of the things I was going, I bet people have never had this problem, but this dividing head had a chuck on it, and it just got too far damaged being in the junkyard, and I actually had to cut it off using abrasive wheels. And what I did is I took this chuck that is actually off a 1960 South Bend heavy tin. It's the particular lathe had a LOO spindle taper, so this is a plain back chuck here, and it was a rear mount chuck, okay? But I changed it to a front mount chuck by drilling 6 holes through it. You see them? And that's like an adjust true chuck. Okay. And while we're here, let me get a flashlight and shine down there. I'll show you how extreme I go. This is a 6-inch chuck, and I machined a 2-inch hole in it. And I modified it. I don't know if you can see. You can see the shadow of a internal screw there. It's like I used smaller screws and moved them out. So it's a 6-inch Cushman chuck with a 2-inch hole. And I think the spindle is 2¼ inch, and if it was 2-inch, I couldn't bore this out any further. I could have got this chuck closer, but I'm going to call that pretty darn close, because you want the shortest distance. When you're mounting a chuck like that to a dividing head. Okay, I thought you might find that interesting. Now, this chuck is actually adjustable, and it's and it works. Okay, slightly loosen these 6 screws, and when I interface the chuck to the backing plate, I made the backing plate protrusion about 30 thousandths smaller than you would normally do, so the chuck will kind of clunk on that a little bit. But you kind of have to have that to basically keep the chuck centered, or you never get it true. So with that little bit of radial slop, I can loosen these and smack it with a lead hammer true. Okay, this is like a very cheap way of getting an adjust true chuck. And it may not work, whatever you're doing on a lathe. It may work on a lathe, I don't know. But this will fully take care of everything I want to do on this dividing head, and then some with that 2-inch bore. I thought you might find it kind of fun to look at stuff like this and realize this chuck was worn out, and it was real bad, and the scroll inside wore the pivot. And what I did was I sleeved the pivot, and I actually, the scrolls are hard, but this one was worn enough out around that I trued it up on the Sun and Honan machine here. Not everybody's got one of these stinky things, I'll tell you what. It holds 15 gallons of stinky oil down there. But anyway, I used this equipment to modify equipment, and this was a throwaway thing. This was no good. It was actually tossed out by the local community college a long time ago. It just ran so bad. And so I tightened up the scroll, and then I reground this portion of the jaws set up in manufacturing model 10EE. So, you use tools to kind of fix tools, and, don't let anybody, again, do anything, because you can do anything you want. But, make sure you do things you're supposed to do, right? Okay. I thought you might find that kind of fun. These old dividing heads are really nice, and I'm just going to index that, and it's got a pin here, see? See if I can retract it. I think something's in the way. It doesn't want to retract. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's stuck. Oh, it is retracted. It's just that I got the brake on. There we go. So you line it up with a hole, and then you can, I got to get it really lined up because it's precision. There we go. See that? There's how that locks in. So you disconnect this stuff on the other side. The gear stuff's all disconnected. Then you just rotate it by hand. Use the pin in these locations, 24 holes. And it's just real simple. Simple little thing. And I got a simple little job to do on it. But I thought you might find that interesting if you happen to have a dividing head. And I tell you what, this old brown and Sharpe, I think that's like a 2 1/4 by 4 1/2 threads per inch. And the threads are sharp. And the threads are short. But this was kind of a nice threading project on the inch metric 10EE. I used the electric lead screw reverse, and just got an excellent interface here on those threads. Well, anyway, I'll quit bragging and I'll get to work, and I'll show a few things there. Thanks for looking in today.